Something about CERN turning off must have done something to the timeline, because something about seeing the ex-wife of that ICE agent come out literally the next day and say, yeah, this man has a history of not only mental illness but domestic violence against me and my daughter. I may be taking this too far, and I may be overthinking, my Virgo thoughts and then this Mercury retrograde. But what it is giving is that in the 250 years, and this is just one of many examples that I think is going to happen in the future, right? I personally believe that the hubris of these racist white supremacist people is getting into their heads so much to the point that they're not even realizing that their so-called women are no longer on your team. If anything, this is my theory. My theory is this: the concept of white supremacy, if we're really going to talk about how the matriarchy was the first way of the earth, if we're going to talk about the matriarchy and how we converted to the patriarchy, the only way that I can think of, especially in considering when we talk about white supremacy, specifically with them, I believe that shit started with the white women. I really do believe that, because they used their man to enforce said jealousy and envy and all kinds of stuff back then, and that makes sense to me. It makes more sense to me than just randomly the men of that community just randomly just start wanting to enslave people. Like, there is no emotional reasoning to do so, except if the women of your community is feeding those delusions into your head. That is the only thing that's getting into my head. So when I see that this woman went out on that stage, and this is going to be one of few, we're going to start seeing it, where y'all going to start realizing that your women is not on your team. People are waking up. That CERN turning off, whatever it was going on in these people's brain, you got to be very motherfucking careful out here. Like, because really, honestly and truly, once the white women start waking up and start holding their spawns accountable for the things that they do, it's over for white supremacy. Because we be thinking, oh, it's the men that need to change. No, it's the women that need to hold them accountable. We talking about the matriarchy is risen. Okay, the women are going to have to do something. See, that's the problem. I've noticed that. We're talking about the matriarchy this, matriarchy that, and we're talking about matriarchy within different racial groups. And it doesn't seem like they are holding their men accountable. Black women, we hold our men accountable. I'm seeing the Asian women, they hold their men accountable. The Latino women, they hold their men. But that one particular group is not. But the moment that they start doing so, you're going to start seeing shit change. Listen. The white women who want to squander their right to vote, you go ahead and do that, sis. That's on you. I'm going to vote, okay? Now, here's the thing. Because you don't want us to vote, you don't vote. You don't have to tell us to not vote, okay? I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. See, that's your problem. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? How black women, we want something from y'all, but to be honest, keep doing what y'all want to be doing. But you see how y'all don't want something and you are willing to literally get your man up in them damn Congress and the Senate and all that kinds of stuff, doing all these vile things to everybody else. Again, I'm telling y'all, white women, all y'all need to do is stand up. All y'all got to do is stand up. Y'all sitting by and you're waiting for black women to do something. You're waiting for black people to do something. We waiting on y'all, to be honest, because this is y'all mess. Y'all birthed the mess. You birthed the mess. Because hold on, when we was putting our titty in y'all's baby's mouth back then, they weren't doing this. The moment that we let y'all start parenting y'all own kids and start mothering y'all sons, y'all keep talking about black people. We raising young niggas and gangsters. Look at what y'all raised us in the Senate. Look at what y'all raised us in the White House right now. That is your womb. That is your responsibility. So when I see even an inkling of what y'all, just holding a little bit of one of y'all accountable, all I can do is clap, because all it takes is one person. One person. So I commend her for calling out her husband and really putting that out there, because let that be a message to the other white women. If y'all really want to destroy white supremacy, you want to bring the matriarchy back, you're going to have to start holding y'all sons, y'all men, y'all fathers, your uncles, all of them accountable. You're going to have to start really putting their asses out, okay?
David back in November brought up that he had accepted a job with ICE. I thought of that it was just a delusional thing because I'm used to him talking crazy, so to speak. So I said, yeah, sure you are, buddy. You know, I didn't realize that he was actually working for ICE until yesterday, and I was completely shocked because I'm like, how do you keep getting into these jobs where you're around guns all the time? I asked him what was going on. He told me that I don't need to be answering questions for anybody, that all I needed to know was that it was a justified shooting and that he did do it. And he claimed that this man had tried to run him over. And I said, I don't see that in anything, and I've watched it from all angles. All I seen is how the car was going in circle after the fact. And then he's like, well, I need you to lie about my character, because this is what it comes down to, is my character. I don't want you talking about any of the abuse in our relationship. Like, this is literally about me, actually. I told him that I was not going to lie for him, that I've waited years to speak my truth. I've been silenced long enough, and now I need to come out with everything because a man lost his life. So it was abuse, not only to me, but to our daughter. And even being divorced from him, I've dealt with harassing phone calls, threats of him wanting to kill me. I believe that this man was murdered. I believe that David's mental health played a part in what happened. I think what happened was he was standing there during that operation, had a PTSD moment, and hit fight or flight mode. And unfortunately, a man lost his life due to it.
In Maine, is there any more clarity on how he got his job, considering the vetting concerns that his wife has raised? Are there potential changes coming to the vetting process of ICE agents?
That's a question for ICE. That's under investigation. I'm sure that part now is part of the investigation. We'll let the investigation play out. I'm not going to comment on the investigation. This is ongoing.
Wow, man. Damn.
Since CERN shut down their Large Hadron Collider for the next 4 years, has anyone noticed how different things feel? I can't be the only one out there that has noticed how different everything feels since they shut it down. Now, maybe this is a placebo effect. Maybe that's all that this is.
June the 29th, 6 a.m., we switch off the Large Hadron Collider for 4 years. We're replacing about 1.2 kilometers of the 27-kilometer ring with the high luminosity LHC magnets. This will give us a machine that's 10 times brighter than the Large Hadron Collider, 10 times more data. So it really is an opportunity to explore the universe in a way we haven't done before. And what that does is when the particles come around, and then we bend them towards each other, if you make the bunches of protons smaller and smaller, you get many, many more collisions. You concentrate everything in the same place. That's what these super high field magnets are doing. Installing this is a massive task. It's by far the biggest thing that CERN has done for the last 20 years. And what we're doing here in this building is this is a test string. We're testing the technology, and it's much easier to test it here rather than in the confined spaces of the LHC tunnel. And we've already learned some really critical information about some of the design of this. We've updated the design based on our tests. And it's amazing to be here today that this is now operating, it's at its operating temperature of 1.9 Kelvin. So this is a superconducting liquid helium system operating at 1.9 Kelvin. That was a massive milestone for us in this project. So we're now confident that when we go underground and start installing the high luminosity Large Hadron Collider, we will be successful. We know what we're doing. We've tested the installation procedures here.
I've been waiting so long to make this video. What is CERN? So all the top physicists in the world are basically more or less trying to disprove God. And they're trying to disprove God by figuring out how the Big Bang happened and what matter is made of. They want to know what subatomic particles make up protons, neutrons, and electrons. So to try to isolate this subatomic matter, they've created an 18-mile long particle collider where they smash particles at the speed of light and see what happens. They don't know what's going to really happen. They don't know what the outcome of these experiments is actually going to be. They just want to see. CERN themselves, who also have a logo that is conspicuously very similar to 666. Anyways, CERN themselves have admitted that they don't know if this could potentially unlock different dimensions or create antimatter or mini black holes. So I know you want to find comfort. So what you're doing is you're going to your search engines, you're going to your AI chatbots, and you're going to try to disprove what I'm telling you right now. I'm just going to say your initial search is going to pick this up as nothing more than conspiracy. But if you use the correct prompts, you can find that every single thing I say in this video is 100% correct. These people are trying to develop a technology powerful enough to destroy the universe, but what's particularly unnerving is right outside the entrance, right at the front gate of CERN, is a statue of Shiva, who is the Hindu god of destruction. It's right in your face. And it's not just the tinfoil hat community. Here's Dr. Astrid Stuckelberger, who is an astrophysicist with 25 years at the University of Geneva. She's wrote 12 books, published 158 articles. Here's her voicing her concerns over CERN.
I said, so how many dimensions officially are living in the CERN? And they both said 17. And is there a proof that they bring, that they give something, there's some document? And they said this entity the second time took a scarf. So this same Gotthard tunnel was inaugurated for traversing this just beside the Bridge of the Devil. And during the inauguration, our official politicians were standing there looking at the CERN open door with angels and demons going through it. And very crazy, naked, looking naked dance with horns on their heads. And at that time, I thought it looks awful. But now that I put it with the CERN, you're going, okay, there is something fishy going on here. And
she's staking her entire reputation as a scientist to come out and tell you that these other scientists have told her that 17 different dimensions have been opened at CERN. But if you Google that, or if you use your ChatGPT, whatever AI software, it will tell you it's a hoax and a conspiracy theory.